Hello, my name is Meerah and I'm a Lorekeeper in one of the ASUS libraries, and today I wanted to share with you the lore of the wizard class from Black Desert. I uploaded the witch video what seems like forever ago, so I apologize for the delay on her counterpart. In some very distant space lay the world of sages, and in it is the Goddard Idea, which is a leading organization of sages. 3 young wizards stood at the center of the creation of the Goddard Idea. They ceaselessly dedicated themselves to the pursuit of all knowledge, pouring their resources into investigating the primordial elements. All research began with these 3 individuals, who, despite their young age, possessed knowledge far beyond their years. Among the 3, the one known as Lord Red was considered the brightest, and perhaps was the wisest on their entire planet. He was always one step ahead of the curve, and all successful research of the Goddard Idea flowed through him. Of course, this was a deep sense of pride for Lord Red. He was at the center of the Goddard Idea, and he strived for perfection. One of Lord Red's most acclaimed achievements was the invention of the Sphera, the first magical tool. Lord Red named this first tool the Goddard Sphera, after the Goddard Idea itself. After inventing the Sphera, Lord Red continued to make strides with frightening speed. He became able to summon and commune with 2 guardian spirits by using the Goddard Sphera. Marg, the guardian of fire, embodied the destructive power of nature, while Arn, the guardian of water, offered spiritual support, juxtaposing the potential of Marg. While Lord Red had achieved so much in the name of the Goddard Idea, his findings also became a source of great concern for the other sages, largely due to the Guardian of Fire, whose destructive might was extremely difficult to contain, which Lord Red barely managed by utilizing the Goddard Idea under the organization's wary gaze. Marg presented issues for the entire Goddard Idea. The purpose of the organization was the pursuit of knowledge via the study of primordial elements, not that of destruction. Schism formed, and groups envious of Lord Red's achievements took the lead. Accusations of leading the Goddard Idea down a dark road soon began to be thrown around. Yet Lord Red was so engrossed with his studies that he largely ignored these accusations. Not long after, all of the Goddard Idea came to a consensus and denounced Lord Red as a lunatic, blinded and driven mad by the pursuit of destruction. The Goddard Idea began drifting away from Lord Red, and some even began to credit Marg for Lord Red's accomplishments. Lord Red, so used to being renowned as the top sage, was offended by this slight. One of the only things that could match Lord Red's knowledge of the elements was his ego, and once he began to feel offended by the Goddard Idea, he began sending them threats. He promised death and destruction on the whole organization multiple times, yet his threats were ignored. Fueling his rage further, he eventually attempted a hostile takeover of the Goddard Idea, unleashing fire magic that he himself could not contain. He made it to the Wizard's Chamber, the center of the world, and it was in that moment when victory seemed so close that, upon sensing the threat, the absorption magic of the Goddard Idea was activated, and it consumed his magic and banished Lord Red to a distorted space for defying nature's law. While trapped in that space, Lord Red came to realize that he was becoming consumed by Marg, the Guardian of Fire. Both body and soul were succumbing to the destructive influence of the being, and Lord Red realized that he needed to fight back. The fight consumed his very being, and yet he emerged victorious, though aged considerably. Yet he was still trapped in his dimensional prison, losing his anchoring in reality and slowly beginning to lose his humanity. Suddenly, he felt something. Another human attempting to follow his path, trying to reach the distorted space. As he focused, he realized that it was someone from the same world he hailed from, a person who had also concentrated their research through a different type of Sphera. He saw in her the thirst for knowledge that had drove him in the past, and for the first time in his entire life, he was afraid. He feared this witch would follow him to the pocket space, and that her thirst for knowledge would lead her down a path that she would never be able to escape from. In order to save her and himself, he destroyed the Goddard Sphera. The resulting explosion shattered his prison and ripped apart the boundaries of space and time, sweeping him into the ether. As his consciousness stated, he was sure he had successfully stopped witch on her path. When he finally came to and opened his eyes, he locked eyes with his aged self reflected in the waters of a lake beside him. But he felt his humanity slowly return and could not stop the thought that the very lake itself had saved his life. And that's it! Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it or found it interesting in some way. If you did, please consider leaving a like or a comment. I am here for you guys every Wednesday. If you would like to be notified the next time I post a Black Desert lore video, click the subscribe button and ring the bell. Thank you, as always, to my supporters who make my content possible. If you would like to support the channel, the links are in the description below. I hope to see you guys next time here in the library.